Good morning. I'm Jay Craig, Chief Executive Officer and President of Meritor, and I'm excited to be here today talking to you about electrification in the commercial vehicle industry. I've had the privilege to do this for the previous 3 years, and certainly it's a lot more fun on a stage in front of a live audience, but this seems to be the next best thing, and I hope to update you on our perspectives on the rapid adoption of electrification within the commercial vehicle industry. So why do we believe that trend is continuing in the face of the severe economic downturn that occurred with the pandemic and other negative economic factors that we came into the year with in the commercial vehicle industry? Well, I think there are several reasons. The first of those is quite unique to the commercial vehicle industry in that we have a highly concentrated end customer base, and that end customer base is pulling the industry towards electrification. One example of that is Amazon, that has set a goal to have zero carbon emissions by 2040, and they would like to get 50% there by 2030. Their estimate is that will take the acquisition of 100,000 fully electric vehicles over that time period. And then there's UPS, which even today runs 25% of their fleet on alternative fuels or fully electric vehicles. So this is pulling both us and our customers to produce electric vehicles at a very rapid pace to meet our end customers' requirements. If we look at some of the other factors on this page, they're the continuing issues that I've spoken about at the previous conferences, and they're the changes in the regulatory environment, the reduction in battery cost, and the increasing recharging infrastructure. So if we look at the regulatory environment as the first impact, that continues to tighten and evolve each 12-month period. During this last year, California has increased their aspirations for the number of fully electric vehicles purchased up to 60% by the year 2035. What I think is even more interesting is 15 other states and the District of Columbia have signed a memorandum of understanding to follow those same requirements. So this is a wave that's beginning to sweep the nation. And then in Europe, we have the looming CO2 reduction regulations coming into place in 2025 that will certainly require most fleets to have a portion of their vehicles be fully electric. Now, turning to battery costs, there are two lines on this chart. The green line on the top was the estimated trend of battery costs through 2030 fully packed. Now you'll see the new estimate on the lower line on this chart, and it's obviously dropped dramatically. Even the price we see today, that we're pushing $120 per kilowatt hour of battery costs fully packed, is dramatically below the estimate that was made only 3 years ago. And now it is estimated by 2030 that that cost could fall to roughly $80 per kilowatt hour, which at that price, almost any application becomes economically viable. What we felt was the final constraint on broad-based adoption of electric vehicles was the charging infrastructure. The estimate today is that in the US, Canada, and Europe, there's approximately 5 million electric recharging stations on the ground. This number of electronic recharging stations is expected to grow by 8-fold through 2030 and does not look to be a constraint on the industry's ability to put into the market a significant number of electric vehicles. And so what I want to walk through with you is just a few of the reasons. The first is packaging. The electronic axle takes up roughly 40 less cubic feet than a direct drive application. That 40 cubic feet, for example, could be used for additional batteries that would enable a Class 8 electric truck using today's technology to travel an additional 40 miles. In addition, that electronic axle package weighs 600 pounds less than its comparable direct drive package, again, increasing efficiency and the mileage that the vehicle can travel on a single charge. And then lastly is the efficiency of the axle and the package itself. What we are seeing through our demonstrator fleets with the electronic axle is that it's roughly 20% more efficient than its direct drive comparable application. So pulling this all together as far as what the implications are for our end customers, we are now at the point, because of the rapidly declining battery cost and the increased efficiency of electronic axles, that the payback period for a purchase of a fully electric truck compared to its internal combustion brother would be approximately 3 years. At that point, we believe that it's compelling enough on its own, without government incentives, that the purchase of these vehicles will occur on its own 2 feet in the applications listed on the right, including refuse vehicles, drayage vehicles, and short transit buses and school buses, where they have shorter mileage requirements and increased usage of regenerative braking because of frequent stops and starts. So what does this all mean for Meritor? It means opportunity. As we continue to invest aggressively in our portfolio of electric axles, we think we are quickly earning the right and the expectation to be the leaders in this technology globally, just as we have been for 110 years in the traditional drivetrain axle environment. So I hope all of you are as excited with the revolution that's occurring in our industry as we are at Meritor, and I look forward to being with you in person next year so we can continue to share our creative ideas and excitement for the industry of the future.